Can be so bold as to say that.
Yeah.
I think for sure. And anyway, on the show today. Welcome to Midnight Masterminds. My name is Wyatt. My nickname in high school was Wyatt. This is my friend here. He's wearing a Metallica t-shirt because he claims to be named after them. My friend Tyler, Metallica Stoudt.
Yep, that's me.
How we doing?
I'm doing very well.
How we doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. I didn't think that. I didn't think that. I knew it. I knew it.
I think it's the peanut sauce.
Are you allergic to peanuts secretly?
I don't think so.
Well, welcome everybody.
Hey guys, how you doing?
I had a thought and then it was coughed through twice, and I genuinely don't know where that thought was headed.
That's okay.
But we have a lot of delectable treats lined up for you guys today. Mostly in the form of news. There is a crap ton of news, and I'm very excited to go over each and every tiny morsel. Because Tyler is looking at the agenda right now.
Yeah, man.
And it's pretty packed.
There's a lot.
And I have about 5 more notes in my phone that I didn't even add to the agenda because I was so excited. My hands were shaking.
Oh, shit.
And I couldn't add it in. Just kidding. It wasn't quite that exciting. But first, we got to give you guys the juicy meatball first. What you come here for. What you really want.
Spicy meatball.
Do you know what it is?
It's a movie review.
Yes, it's movie reviews, Tyler. The big one this week, but when I say big one, I mean the one that's probably going to make the most money, the most cheddar cheese. It's probably Night School, and Tyler saw that, sans Wyatt.
Yeah.
So, please tell us about it.
It's directed by Malcolm D. Lee.
Wow. D. Lee.
It's a Kevin Hart's production company movie.
Is that what it was called? Kevin Hart's production company?
No, I think it's like Heartbeat Productions or something like that.
Oh, that's cute.
But yeah, it's starring Kevin Hart, Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish is actually top billed, by the way, which I thought was pretty interesting.
She's in a million movies a year now. She's like the new Kevin
I
Hart.
know, it's ridiculous. She's the new Kevin Hart. Oh no!
In a Kevin Hart movie.
But yeah, it was actually a pretty good cast. Ben Schwartz was in it.
I love Ben Schwartz.
What's his name? Or Keith David, a man who I have met. Rob Riggle.
Oh, name dropping son of a bitch, Metallica, son of a bitch.
Yeah, man, it was really good. It was a full.
What's the plot?
What's in the plot? Basically, Kevin Hart's got a shit ton of learning disabilities, but when he was a kid, no one wanted to put up with that shit. They just thought he was dumb and unmotivated, so he thought that of himself. So he never. So this is an angle I actually really liked about the movie, the destigmatizing of learning disabilities.
Yeah.
But anyway, he was basically treated like he was a loser because he just didn't. He had dyslexia, dyscalculia, which is just numbers dyslexia, and he had processing issues and all that. But basically, his dad thought he was worthless and everything, so he has to sit and take his basically the SATs, but it's not the SATs because I think those are copyrighted and you can't use them in movies.
Really?
I think.
I wouldn't doubt it.
I would also not doubt that I'm very wrong. So while I'm telling this, why don't you look it up?
Whoa! Magic of internets.
But anyway, he's sitting to take his this movie's equivalent of the SATs, and he's all like, you know what? Fuck it! I don't have to take this shit. I'm gonna get a good job, meet a beautiful woman, and live a great life, and I don't even have to graduate high school.
You do have to ask. I'm sorry. You do have to ask College Board for permission to use it in anything.
Wow.
Printed handouts, SAT prep materials. So if you're writing an SAT prep book and it's based on the SAT prep or the SATs itself, you still have to get permission to publish your book. I mean, obviously that will probably make makes total sense.
Sure.
But I don't know why they wouldn't let them use it for this movie. Unless they didn't try. But
maybe I wouldn't be surprised if
they were just like, F all that. That's boring.
Yeah, we just make up a different standardized test. Everyone knows what we're trying to talk about.
A lot of times when I make a project, I purposefully make up fake logos and shit like that. More so because it's fun to do so and way less paperwork.
Yes.
So, yes.
Anyway, so he drops out of high school, he becomes a really, really good salesman, and works at a barbecue, a grill store.
Hey, people need a grill, man.
For a white guy who calls him his Gary Coleman.
I'm laughing at a movie I've never seen. That's
but basically, he's doing well, but he's not like well enough to keep up with the way he spends money, because he's
a baller.
He's dating this beautiful woman whose character's name I cannot remember, and basically she's way out of his league, and he's overcompensating for that.
Gotcha.
Assuming that she's the kind of woman who would want him to pick up tabs and, have a nice car and a beautiful duplex and all that.
Yeah.
So he's like really stretching his funds super thin.
Just to make her happy.
Yeah, and he proposes. She's super happy. By the way, she's not this type of woman. You get that. You get the idea that really early in the movie that it's all in his head.
It's in his head.
Yeah, and that's
part.
Sad. That's part of his growth. Is that he realizes that it's okay to need a little help.
Well, yeah.
But anyway,
it's okay to go. You know what? Maybe I don't buy you this diamond ring.
Sure.
We have dinner tonight.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we don't have dinner tonight.
Well, he goes to propose at the barbecue store, like the grill store, because the white guy who called him his Gary Coleman. Was like, when I retire, you're gonna be the owner. You're gonna own the store.
Wow, that's very rare.
Yeah. Well,
not that it's unbelievable.
He has a bunch of grills with open flames.
Okay. In
them and candles and stuff to be super romantic to tell.
It blows up, doesn't it?
Oh, it blows the
fuck
up.
I want to see this movie.
And it sends him flying out. That's like the third funniest gag in the whole movie.
Oh man!
It's just Kevin Hart screaming and flying through the air.
I'm imagining it now, and it sounds excellent.
It's pretty funny.
I want to see this movie.
But so then I'm
a sucker for these like really crappy comedies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying this is crappy if I haven't seen it.
It's
but like bad. Central Intelligence.
Yep.
And like Ride Along.
Yeah.
Those movies blow.
I hate Ride Along.
I haven't
hated Ride Along. Counterintelligence. Central Intelligence is actually pretty fun.
What's fun? You know what's funny about Central Intelligence?
It's
made by this guy who made Skyscraper.
It is. Yeah.
It's sad. But anyway, I like those movies because they're dumb.
Basically, all that leads to him being jobless, and his friend, played by Ben Schwartz, Marvin, works at a financial... Basically, he's a stockbroker.
I'm remembering this from the trailer.
So he's like, if you get a GED, I might be able to get you a job. So he has to get a GED. So he goes to night school and meets Tiffany Haddish, who calls him a burnt leprechaun, which is the second best gag in the whole movie.
I'm a sucker for these jokes. Now tell us if it was good or not. I mean, we get the idea, right?
There was
Are we missing any parts of the plot that we should really know?
Not really.
He had how he grows and all that.
Yeah, he had a, you remember Black Voice Principal from all the trailers?
Yeah.
Basically, that's a kid that he went to school with.
Yeah.
Who he bullied, but they bullied each other, kind of.
Oh, okay. That's a new twist.
Yeah, like Stewart's his name, and he was like. He even says I'm a late bloomer because surprise, it's a movie with a happy ending. It's a comedy with a happy ending. Oh. And Stewart, the principal, realized that he's being a dick. As much as Kevin Hart's character might have been a dick, he was a dick right back. So they kind of have a mutual like, sorry, we were dicks.
They put their dicks away.
Yeah, they put them together.
Together.
But anyway, my biggest criticism with this movie is that. It looks like it might have been shot to be rated R, but then they were worried it wouldn't make money. So, like 2 weeks before it released, they got all the actors in the room and did ADR, and then didn't care about trying to make the ADR match the lips.
So the lips are just...
like someone definitely says...
Like an old Japanese film?
Yeah. Someone definitely says, I'm going to smack that ass, and the words you hear are, I'm going to crack that walnut.
That's not funny.
I know, but also, like, smack that ass isn't even that vulgar.
No, it's
so I
not
don't understand.
At all.
Maybe they changed it because of the way shit's going in the real world. They wanted to make some of those lines a little less, overtly...
Don't censor your art, man. That's not cool.
Yeah, but...
That movie Blockers, that didn't censor shit, and that movie was hilarious and made a bunch of money.
And was heartfelt as shit.
Yes.
So yeah, it was a big issue. It was a big no-no. Because, like, you could tell... there was one F-bomb, and it was really out of place. Like, you know how most movies, PG-13, you get one F-bomb?
You use it purposefully.
Well, Tiffany Haddish just says, fuck. Like, in the middle of a school hallway, and that's it. Oh. There's no, like...
It wasn't like a build to it.
It's not like Kevin Hart gets thrown off a building and lands and he just says, oh, fuck! And it's really funny, because that would be pretty funny. Nah, it's just Tiffany Haddish is being angry, sassy Tiffany Haddish, and she says, fuck, in the school hallway.
That's legitimately disappointing.
Yeah, because I feel like if they just made the decision either way, like, let's make this PG-13, we'll like...
Just sounds like they got cold feet.
We'll cut out some of the bits that we don't like. We'll reshoot other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then they would have done that and been fine. If they made it rated R from the beginning, I bet you it would have been even more fine. But now it's just weird in this limbo.
Yeah.
They didn't make a decision state. There were a lot of good bits. Rob Riggle jumps off a building and dislocates his shoulder and gets puked on by...
Well, all the things you're saying make me really excited to talk about the Venom early reactions, which we're not talking about that now, but what you're saying has a lot to do with that, and I'm very excited. Yes, I'm plugging the episode in the episode. That's plugception right there. But, unless Tyler has anything else to add, I know you're looking and scrolling through here, but I can start on the Hellfest review.
You know, I don't have anything...
You're just staring blankly at a screen, so I'm going to scoot past you.
The final, words I have to say about...
I will mince words. Sorry.
Are, if you really, really, really like Kevin Hart, go for it.
Yeah.
Especially if your movie pass still works, or you have A-list, AMC A-list, and you just want to have a good date night, fun comedy movie, this is perfect for that.
Sweet.
Otherwise, don't feel like you need to rush out to see this one. Maybe wait for his next movie.
Pass me the baton. Thank you. We should get a real baton.
That would be great.
And we should pass it around. That'll stop the bits from being smashed.
Yeah.
Or from going on too long, so we can just snatch it.
Yep.
Anyway, I synced a movie called Hellfest.
Oh, boy.
And I'm just going to start off the bat with I want more people to see this movie called Hellfest. And I'll tell you why. This movie is directed by Gregory Plotkin. That's not why. But it's annoying that you're stop it! Just bring it up. Tyler, so we use Google Docs.
Not a sponsor.
But could be.
I mean, that'd be a fantastic
you
sponsor.
have my email, Google. Google Docs. We use Google Docs, and sometimes when I read things, he'll hit the space bar, and then I lose my spot like a freaking douche.
Uh-huh.
So what has Gregory Plotkin done? He directed Paranormal Activity: The Ghost Dimension. And up until then, that's pretty much it. But he is a very competent editor. On top of editing this movie, he edited all of the Paranormal Activity movies, save for the first one. He edited the movie Game Night, Happy Death Day, and Get Out. So He's not a novice, but this is his second film. And his first one, I wouldn't call it a home run.
No.
This was written by Seth M. Sherwood, if that means anything to you.
Does not mean anything to me.
Not to me. But basically, with the plot of the movie, I'll try and keep it simple, because it is pretty simple. These two friends, Natalie and Brooke, they are reuniting. They haven't seen each other for quite a long time, and they're going to Hellfest with their group of friends. As much as this movie kind of felt like it was trying to subvert these stereotypes, it still leaned into it. Like, you had pretty open, but when I say subvert, you have somebody who's normally the gay character or the lesbian character.
Yeah.
And looks and acts just like that sort of archetype would act, but she's not a lesbian. So, it's a twist. Stereotype.
People can be whatever they want.
Yeah.
We just wanted you to think that there was,
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of that. So they're trying. It doesn't feel like they're not trying hard. It just feels like they think that's the best way to do it.
Sure.
So, but I'm not trying to knock it. But now you know what kind of world we're playing in. Hellfest is, if you know anything about Halloween Horror Nights in Los Angeles or Orlando, it's pretty much that.
Anywhere really that does it.
Yeah, anywhere. I mean, a lot of towns have their own version of the same thing. This one though is a traveling Hellfest. Oh. So it goes from town to town. And about 3 years ago, somebody was, quote, totally butchered. Or gutted, whatever. I don't remember. I quoted it and I didn't even remember.
I know, I haven't even seen it and I got it right.
And
so many times I've seen the damn trailer.
Yeah, but basically someone sneaks in and, the whole reason I was really excited to see this movie, and I talked about it a couple times, I think here, but definitely to Tyler, annoyed the shit out of him about it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Going to see this movie is because I think that's such a genius premise. I've been at these events a lot. Because, when you grow up in Pennsylvania, sometimes there's not a whole lot to do, I guess. Yeah. So we do things like that.
I can confirm.
and I can tell you that, that's a thought that crosses your mind.
Sometimes.
When you're there, you're like, if something really were to happen here, nobody would bat an eyelash. That's a scary thought.
Yeah.
And this movie leans into that hard. One of the greatest scenes in the movie, and I'll get back into the plot description, but I don't want to lose this thread.
I also don't want you to avoid spoiling it.
You don't want me to avoid spoiling it, so I'm going to jump right into spoilers? Is that what you want?
Yeah, talk about whatever you want.
Are you sure?
Yeah, man.
Oh, okay, fine. But I mean, all right. There's not a whole lot to spoil.
I was gonna say because
it's all kind of there.
My philosophy with horror films. I don't know if any listeners can sympathize with this. I don't always rush out to see them, but I love hearing about horror movie twists.
Oh, well then, listen up here.
Yeah.
Well, so the way that they sort of introduce the concept is like, they talk about it and like, ooh, they're going to get you. But they're just friends ribbing on each other, right?
Yeah.
And they're in a haunted house. And they do a really good job with showing that the night is, like, it never feels like it's dragging too much on the teens being teens.
Got it.
You get to see them. You get to see them having fun. You almost feel like you're having fun with them. Unlike, we were watching the Friday the 13th reboot yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And, well, not yesterday, the day before.
Yeah.
That totally is irrelevant. But anyway, I feel like in something like that, we're on these unlikable teens for way too fucking long.
Yeah. And
you just start to be like, I hate this movie because I hate them and I'm with them too
exactly.
long, right?
It should never get to the point where you're excited for the killing to start because you want the characters to go away.
Yeah, and here, like, you do get the sense that each one of these characters kind of has a little annoying tick, but you don't downright hate every single one of them. Even the most annoying character, and I don't know, anyone who's seen this, you might know who the hell I'm talking about. I'm not going to say what I'm thinking. The most annoying character, even when that starts to happen, because the movie allows you to sort of have fun with them, with the use of like POV shots through the haunted houses and whatnot, you feel like you're with them and you're having a good time and you're experiencing it, as opposed to just like, just someone start killing these fucking assholes already, right? It's not like that.
Which was our sentiments watching the Friday the 13th reboot.
So when they're walking through one of the haunted houses, when the movie starts to kind of get the gears turning, one of the girls from earlier in the movie runs into the haunted house, and the movie does a great job of establishing, as an audience member, what's real and what's not, but the characters don't, right? So in the very beginning, our teen group that we're following walks away, but the camera sort of lingers and sees the killer approach a girl in a blue striped shirt.
Got it.
So that not only I think it's a smart idea to use blue striped shirt as a visual cue because it's the only girl with a blue striped shirt there, we know something that they don't know.
Yes.
And that builds a lot of suspense and tension. So later on in the movie, when that girl runs into the room, into the haunted house, and is like, please help me, and the teens that we're following are going, oh, this is really realistic. You're, as an audience member, like, oh, fuck, like, she's about to be really fucking killed right now.
Yeah.
That's a great scene, a great moment. And when it happens, when the death actually happens and he stabs her, the main girl, the final girl, I think her name, I got the names jumbled up, I think her name's Brooke. Brooke has this look in her eyes like, oh, shit. This might be real. But the thing is, because she has that look and because of where she is, her friends are kind of like, quit being a fucking wimp, man.
Yeah.
And they just keep pushing through. And basically that's the plot of the movie. Like that, once that happens, this guy starts to follow this particular group. You get the idea that he's just picking people who he randomly picks. And it's not just he walks around killing anyone that he sees. He walks in, he sees somebody, and he goes, I'm playing with you for the rest of the night, and follows you around. And to go into the details any further, there wouldn't be any point just because it's a lot of just killing and good fun, and pretty much everybody dies. There are two final girls here, but I think Brooke is the main character. She's the one with the most growth and whatnot. All the kills are fun, but they hold back on the gore a little bit, which I respect. Like, there's not really a gore fest. There's one super bloody kill with a giant mallet. Like the strongman thing where you're supposed to hit the mallet on the ground.
Yeah.
There's maybe a head in there. It's good stuff. Here's the only thing I want to talk about, and I think what I'm about to touch on is the only reason that this movie is not doing well critically. So the audience score is pretty high. I think last time I checked it was in the 70s, but the critic score is really low. Tyler's going to pull up real-time numbers for us. But the movie was trucking along, and it had a very mysterious killer. You don't get to know who he is or why he does it. You never see his face, almost in a Michael Myers type way. In fact, it pretty much is a Michael Myers, but without the backstory, really, right? What do we got?
Critics, tomato meter is at 48%, and the audience score is now at 55%.
So that's up almost 20% from when I looked at it last.
So the critics went up, but the audience went down.
So I'm going to tell you maybe why that might be happening. So there's a lot of mystery around this killer. In Michael Myers, they give you a great... The only reason I'm equating it to him is because he acts just like him. He doesn't have any original qualities really, other than the fact that he, has a steel-toed boot.
Mm-hmm.
That's his big difference. Well, it's actually pretty smart. So the way that he gets his weapons into Hellfest is that he beeps through the metal detector, but his steel-toed boot has a cut on the end. So when he beeps, the security guard looks down at his steel-toed boot and goes, "Oh, that's why he beeped." Pretty smart. Because he clearly put that shoe on purpose.
Sure.
Right? But anyway, the whole time you're wondering, why is this guy bothering to do this? If they had just left it at, it's a maniac's a maniac, great.
Oh, no.
It'd be fine, right? With Michael Myers, you know sort of what he's going after. You know that he tried to kill his family members, and that he, in the first Halloween, it's not spelled out that he's going after Laurie Strode because that's his little sister. But you have an idea that might have something to do with it, and he's tied to his hometown. This guy follows Hellfest to kill people, and the whole time you're wondering why. Because it's not like he's just lingering in the background. We actually get to spend time in his point of view. Crazy, right? So all this stuff is working really well, and I'm really digging it. And then I'm going to spoil it totally, because this is why I think this movie's doing so poor.
So smash that 30 seconds forward button a couple times if you don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Basically, you follow him through his point of view again. They say, "Hey, we didn't catch him." And the girl's like, "What do you mean?" And then you follow him. He goes to his house. And he walks into the house, and there's this little girl, and she's like, "Daddy!" And he's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And hugs his daughter. He lives a normal-ass life in a normal house with his daughter. You see him put his mask away. He opens up this box, and there are multiple masks. The mask from the first killing at the first Hellfest 3 years ago, and the new mask that he used, plus a bunch of other ones, a murder weapon. And then on the side, you have a picture of a woman that looks a little bit like the main character, Brooke. I still think her name's Brooke. Mm-hmm. And then some pictures that he took. So one of the stocky things that he did was he went up to the teens that were following, and they were in a photo booth, and he took those photos, and he adds it to a collection of other photos. End of movie. So you don't know who this girl is. Presumably he's attacking these women
on purpose
because it looks like this person.
Yeah.
Why is he collecting the photos? Why is he following Hellfest?
Does he just assume someone is going to look like this woman every time Hellfest rolls around?
Supposedly. I don't know. There's too many questions about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it had all this goodwill, and you had a really suspenseful, like, who the hell is that? Like, I would have welcomed a sequel if they didn't try and blue ball me in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous that they had so much going for it.
Yeah.
So much mystery, and they were doing really well with all the kills and whatnot. And then they go, "Okay, are you ready?" "Oh, no, I'm pretty good." "No?" I was like, "No, I'm just fucking confused. I thought I had it figured out, you know?" So, I don't know, man. I would see this movie again, and then at the last minute, just like, walk away. Walk away. We don't need to build a fucking shared universe on everything, and every horror movie doesn't need to set up a sequel. Like, when Michael Myers gets away in the end of the first Halloween, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, evil has gotten away." That's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
They did the same thing here. They go, "Hey, we couldn't find him." They're like, "Oh my god." I was like, "Oh my god." And then we see him. I'm like, well, I don't want to see this shit.
Yeah.
I don't care. You have a daughter. I don't care about none of that.
Yeah.
I want to know. I don't know. It just, that was very mishandled.
Sure, and it's like, if they wanted to introduce all that stuff, it might not have been as abrasive if they just did it.
It made it a part of the story.
Yeah,
like in Halloween, it's a part of the story. Why he's going back to Haddonfield and all that stuff. It's not a part of the story here. It's just a big old slap in the face, you know? But anyway, we're going to move on to Smallfoot.
Okay.
Overall, though, on Hellfest, before we move on to Smallfoot, if you're a horror fan, see it. I think you'll definitely like it. You probably echo the sentiments that I'm explaining to you here. I think people are going to review it and say that it's a jumbled mess in terms of the script. I would disagree up until the last part. Mm-hmm. So, go see the movie if you're a horror fan. If you're not, you'll probably just go, what the hell was that? You know?
Yeah. All
right, Smallfoot. Directors, Dose. Carrie Kirkpatrick directed Over the Hedge, Chicken Run.
Good movie.
James and the Giant Peach. And Jason Reisig, co-director. This looks like it's actually his directorial debut. He worked in the animation department on Shrek, Trolls, Kung Fu Panda, and Spider-Man 2, the live-action Spider-Man 2.
Wow.
Cool stuff, right?
3 of those movies are really good.
Yeah. So, which one don't you like?
Trolls.
You don't like Trolls?
No. Are you kidding?
I like Trolls.
Get out.
It's my house.
Get out.
No. And this was written by Carrie Kirkpatrick as well. So, I want to know Tyler's hot take on the movie.
And Sarah.
Yes, Claire Sarah, who also wrote The Princess Diaries. So this movie stars Channing Tatum.
Channing's Tatum.
James Corden. Zendaya, of course. Common, LeBron James, Danny DeVito, Gina Rodriguez, and that's pretty much all the people I recognize.
I didn't know LeBron James was in this movie.
Yeah, he was Gwangi.
That's the crazy one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
So there you go. But anyway, those are the people who are in the movie. The movie stars Channing Tatum. He is the star. He is Migo.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, he did a great job. I mean, he's Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
Who knew this motherfucker could sing?
Seriously,
That
was going to be my first thing. Is like, this movie is a musical. Surprise. I mean...
Yeah, the trailers don't give me any indication of that.
Yeah,
at least I don't think. Maybe I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, maybe I missed it. But every song was bad except for the first song, which is Channing Tatum's song. How in a movie with Zendaya and Common in it, who would have thunk Channing's Tatum would have the best song?
He did. Dude, it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing about Smallfoot. I don't think the whole movie is great.
No, me neither.
I don't want you guys to think that we're just gonna blow this movie.
Nope.
Dude, it's a lot of stop and go.
I described it as a parabola of quality.
Yeah.
It's like constantly fluctuating between I'm really enjoying myself to oh god, I'm so sorry I made Wyatt watch this with me.
This movie feels kind of like they're trying to do Moana.
Mm-hmm.
And I just kept thinking like they're doing Moana but not as good as Moana.
Mm-hmm.
And like it didn't help that the songs weren't super enjoyable.
Yeah, they were very generic.
It felt forced. And it felt like this movie was written without them. Mm-hmm. And then someone was like, we should do this like those Disney princess movies do this, and we should put songs in it. Mm-hmm. And they were like, we have to.
Only one I will say didn't feel forced is
the opening.
Is the first one.
Yeah.
Channing
it sets up the world and all that.
Yeah, sure. And it's like a classic, like, this is the world I live in, and I love my world, and all that. Can't wait for my world to not change and me to not be forced out of my new world or my old world into a new world. Yeah. So I can experience character growth. You know, that song that's in every, children's animated movie. One. But it was good.
Well, here's the plot. Migo, he lives in a society of Yetis. And basically they all have jobs that they don't really understand, but they just do it because all of the rules and laws are written in stone. Literal stone that the stonekeeper wears.
That's common, by the way.
Yeah, as basically like a, dress.
It's like a vest or robe. But so it's literally made out of rocks.
It's made out of rocks, and they all have little laws written on them.
Well, no, they have pictures drawn on them, and it's the stonekeeper's job to be like, this is what this means.
Yeah, exactly.
So it could be a picture of a butt, and he goes, this means that humans are bad.
Yeah, so we're not going to spoil anything. Basically, James Corden plays a Steve Irwin-esque type guy who's sort of fallen off his high horse, or is maybe still on it, but definitely fell from grace. Mm-hmm. And he is
stopped caring about the aminals and is more worried about ratings.
Yeah, because he's about to lose his show and whatnot. And those two things are important to know independently because Migo, his dad is Danny DeVito, which is great. And he plays the only Yeti to look like Danny DeVito is played by Danny DeVito. And their job, their minuscule job, is to bang the gong every day because it brings out the giant glowing snail, which is the fucking sun. So if they don't bang the gong, the sun won't come out, right? And
they ring it by literally ballisting themselves,
catapulting
head first
into this gong to this point where it gives them all brain damage and makes everyone in his family super duper short. So anyway, Migo, it's his turn to try it out. So he gets thrown and he misses because it's his first time, and he. Very, very long story short, without going into all the details, he flies over where the Yeti's village is and discovers a Smallfoot, which is a human. And nobody believes him because he's challenging the status quo. He's saying, hey, I found a Smallfoot. And they're like, what? And what I did like about it was that Yetis think that Smallfoots are monsters.
Yes.
And Smallfoots, a.k.a. humans, think that Yetis are monsters.
Yes.
I like that dynamic. That made for a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah.
So, because they're seen as monsters, Migo is like, hey, I found a Smallfoot. And they're like, wait a minute, but we have a stone here that says that that's not possible. So, you're saying the Stones are lying. You're a denier. You get the hell out of my town, and they kicked him out.
Yes.
And if you're starting to wonder, man, this movie's a little heavy-handed, you would be very right. So
yeah, it's not one. This one's not shy about the political commentary.
No, not at all.
But it's a kids' film, so it gets a pass.
Yeah.
I think anyway.
It basically the whole movie mansplains politics to the audience so that you understand. But basically, another thing that I really liked about this movie, a saving grace about this movie, is that when Migo finds the James Corden character, they can't speak to each other. So when you're listening to Migo talk from his point of view, he's speaking clear English and it's Channing Tatum. Uh-huh. But when you switch back to James Corden's point of view, it's a monster going rawr, 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 and vice versa. Well, I mean, when James Corden is not being understood, he sounds more like a mouse.
So, he sounds like a chipmunk.
Yeah. But
exactly. That was actually a really great impersonation.
You're welcome. I like that dynamic. That made it a lot of fun. Or it made it a lot of fun. But again, that almost added more to the heavy-handedness because language barriers and don't challenge the status quo, and they're an outsider because we don't understand them, and all that. Really, that's what this movie is all about. So, long story short, it ends very happily, and they all coexist and humans and Yetis get to be friends now.
Yep.
And you turned out that all the meaningless, minuscule jobs that all the Yetis had were just to create steam or more clouds so that they couldn't look over the mountain and look down and see that there was a whole other world out there. Mm-hmm. Because the Stone Keepers for generations have been telling everyone that they were living on the top of the backs of bison.
Yeah, it was there was a floating mountain.
Yeah.
Floating across a sea of clouds.
Of nothing.
That were being held up by giant woolly mammoths.
That's it, woolly mammoths.
And if you drop through the clouds, it is literally nothingness.
Nothing, yes. So, yeah. When they finally figure this out and they stop the machine and they can look down like, oh my god. And James Corden's show obviously goes up because he discovered a fucking Yeti. A whole society of Yetis. So it ends pretty happily, and the whole movie just addresses a lot of questions of, should you challenge the status quo? Should you do this? You shouldn't do this. And there's so many. My favorite heavy-handed part, and by favorite I mean like this is why the movie's not that good.
Yeah.
Is a lot of the younger Yetis are questioning one of the Stones. They're like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Channing Tatum walks over and goes, wait, sounds like you have a question. You know what you do when you have a question? You just push it deep down
until it goes.
Don't ask questions
until it goes away. Don't ask questions. Just believe the powers that be.
It's a little too much.
My favorite part of the movie is when he's trying to wake up James Corden and he knocks out his tooth.
That's great. He's just like poking the side of his face.
And it knocks out a molar.
And he's like, oh, that's good stuff. There's a lot of good humor and stuff like that.
The physical comedy in this was really good.
For me, here's the only parts I get pulled out is when they start singing again. And when they just get too heavy-handed, it like makes me cringe.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Zendaya's song was pretty cringy. Not because of her; she's a great singer, so it was sung well.
Yeah.
It was just cookie cutter, like explore the world. The world is beautiful. We're falling in love.
This movie should have came out like 10 years ago, probably.
Yeah, and it would have been an Oscar-worthy animated movie.
Probably.
But now it's just
because there's been like 9 of these.
Yeah, it's 9 of these since 2015.
And done better.
Yes.
It's it is what it is.
So if you have kids,
definitely
go see it.
You won't be bored or anything.
No, it was entertaining enough, and it's short. So like even if you're not enjoying it, your kids will get an hour and a half of entertainment, and you don't have to waste too much of your day.
Oh, for shizzle.
Otherwise, I don't know if you really, really like Zendaya and Channing Tatum, maybe go see it. I would not have seen it if I didn't have A-list.
Yeah. This movie will probably be a good babysitter for a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, that's all it is.
Yeah.
We're going to do a hard gear shift into news.
Yeah, we got so much news.
We're not going to dissect too much of the news. Because if we spend 80 minutes on one topic, we'll be here until tomorrow.
Yeah, literally.
So we're gonna give it to you, and we're gonna go hot take, and then we're gonna go on to the next thing.
Yep. Sorry about the news speed round because there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, man.
Anyway.
Dark Phoenix trailer is out. It's been out for a little bit. I only added in here because it looks
real bad.
Boring.
Yeah, it looks super bad.
Boring.
It looks.
Look, this whole X-Men timeline thing is already effed up, and now they're redoing something that they already did in X-Men 3, and yet they continue to tell us that these movies still somehow connect to those movies, despite the fact that fuck it. This movie just doesn't look good, man.
I love, like, just my hot take is that we just met Jean Grey, and I don't give a shit. Yeah. I really don't give a shit about her character at all, because and
Wolverine's not in it. I don't care anymore.
So it was First Class.
Don't even try this.
Days of Future Past.
Don't even try this.
Apocalypse, and now we're here.
Correct.
Sophie Turner's Jean Grey was only in Apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We had less than half a movie to get to know her, and now she's the bad guy.
Yeah, but we're supposed to feel sympathetic that she's the bad guy because she's supposed to be one of the goodest guys.
No, and I'm like, fuck that. I don't give a shit.
And also,
I didn't even care in the other one when they made Jean Grey.
So Wolverine was in X-Men Days of Futures Past.
Yes.
Why wasn't he in any of these new ones?
Because he ran off really awkward, like, into the woods.
Yeah, but he doesn't die until, like, the very distant future.
So you didn't see Apocalypse, right?
No, Apocalypse.
There's a sequence that is actually really good. Mm-hmm. It's probably the only good part of that movie.
Okay.
Is when they're breaking out of the Weapon X facility because they get kidnapped by that group.
Wait a second, we do Weapon X again?
And
for a third time?
And Wolverine breaks out, but it's super good and it's pretty good. As far as PG-13 violent, it's like pretty good.
Well, I'll watch the fucking movie.
Well, you don't have to watch. Please don't.
No,
don't.
it's the only X-Men movie I haven't seen. And I feel weird not having seen it.
All right. Well,
like, the trailers all looked so bad, and everyone said it was so bad I avoided it, but I just feel wrong.
Yeah, it's not
good. Knowing what the hell's going on.
But anyway, that sequence ends with them opening a door and Wolverine running, and I'm going to demonstrate for Wyatt. People who've seen the movie, well, sorry this isn't going to involve you, but what?
When you do that, it makes the microphone.
I know.
Boo, boo, boo.
I know. But this is how Wolverine runs out of the Weapon X facility. He's almost completely naked.
Okay, naked Wolverine. Oh my god, what the hell is that? Some Jim Carrey shit.
Yeah, it was really bad. And I love Hughes Jackman, but, it was weird. So yeah, I'm going to see Dark Phoenix. I don't know, of course I'm going to see it, because we do this. But do you think it's going to come out in theaters, or is it going to...
I think so, yeah. So I know we talked about on here that it's not coming out. Looks like they're shifting gears, and they're advertising it as, like, the last one. Mm-hmm. Because once Disney has it, Kevin Feige gets all this stuff.
Sure.
He can do whatever he wants. But, okay.
Creed 2 trailer is dope.
It is dope. It shows more of Creed in the desert. I don't know what all that shit's about, but it looks great. Look, it's actually made me a lot more confused about this movie, but I don't care because it looks awesome. And the guy who's playing Drago... Oh my god, he's a goddamn monster. Dude, this guy's like 6'4" and must be 250 pounds. He's terrifying to look at.
Are they going with Drago as a bad guy again in this one?
Yeah, so the premise...
Well, I know they're fighting, but I don't know, is he coming back?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he's coming back with a vengeance.
So he's like, I'm evil.
And dude, Dolph Lundgren's in this movie too.
Yes, he is.
And he has a stare down with Stallone in the ring, and that's freaking amazing. And I always like to remember the fact that when they were filming this movie, are you looking at the guy?
Yeah.
Dude, he's scary, right?
Holy shit.
He's so scary. You need to watch the trailer because if you ran into him in an alley and you had a gun and he didn't have a gun, your gun would just explode.
So I thought, maybe it was a rumor I heard somewhere, but I really thought that the way they were going is Drago felt like bad. He felt regret and remorse for killing... Apollo Creed.
No, he thinks the Creed family is a bunch of wimps and wants to prove that theory right again.
Okay.
So it's definitely a very personal move to go with this. You know what's funny is when I watched Creed and I heard they were doing a Creed 2, I just thought, I really hope they don't just go do like another fight with another random guy because Creed had so much emotion in it. How do you inject another movie with that much emotion in? Man, they figured it out. I thought it would be kind of cop-outy to do it that way, but I think it's pretty smart. But anyway, I want to see that movie, and I always think about the time that I heard they were filming the movie, and Sylvester Stallone told Dolph Lundgren, hey man, when we shoot, and this is Rocky 3, punch me for real. And Dolph Lundgren punched him in the chest so hard that he had a heart attack. And they said the force was equal to that of getting run over by a car going about 65 miles an hour. He was in the hospital for like 3 days.
Good God.
That's one punch from Dolph Lundgren.
Jesus.
He's a very smart man, by the way.
Yeah, he is. He went to Harvard, I think.
Something like that. He has like
Maybe not, but he's like a really brilliant engineer.
Yeah, that's what he has. I believe he has his PhD.
Yeah,
and something smarter than I am at doing. Yeah. Anyway,
that was a great sentence to not do right.
You're welcome. So we're moving on into. I just like.
You're gonna need to cover this one because
I have it.
I'm gonna talk for about 6 hours
about this.
Yeah.
Oh no, we're just gonna breeze right.
I know. That's why you're just gonna do it.
So here's basically what it is. J.K. Rowling is a badass, and when you watch her on Twitter, she's really good at just slapping haters in the face. Mm-hmm. It just shows you how good of a writer she is. She doesn't need to use anything but just like logic.
Now, there's a lot about J.K. that's not so great. Like a lot of the decisions she makes in this regard that is not so great. But this is one of those where I think she wins.
I love her totally. Anyway, sorry. We usually agree on everything, but I love her.
That's okay.
Anyway, a lot of people were throwing shade at her because she's the screenwriter for Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Mm-hmm. The first one and the second one, right? And she's writing all 5. Yep. So someone, and this is the one people are kind of getting behind, but a lot of people are saying the same sort of thing. Listen, Joanne, we get it. You didn't include enough representation when you wrote the books, but suddenly making Nagini a Korean woman is garbage. Representation is as an afterthought for more woke points is not good representation. So Nagini is the snake that Voldemort uses as a Horcrux. Everyone knows.
Yep.
But Nagini is actually used to be a person, and the reason she turns into a snake permanently is not because she wanted to. It's because she has a blood curse, and when she was born, it was passed to her from her mother, and she knew from an early age, like, hey, you better live the hell out of your life because you're going to be a snake for a long time. So J.K. Rowling responded with, the Naga are snake-like mythical creatures of Indonesian mythology, hence the name Nagini. They are sometimes depicted as winged, sometimes as half-human and half-snake. Indonesia comprises of a few hundred ethnic groups, including Japanese, Chinese, and Betawi. Have a lovely day.
With the snake emoji.
That's why I love her. That's all. Just like, don't be mean to J.K. Rowling. She's probably smarter than you. So that's what I want everyone to know.
So the short version of my 6-hour hot take rant is pick your battles. Like, people need to calm down and stop being offended about goddamn everything.
Yes.
Like, so another thing, this is completely irrelevant to everything, but that Ariana Grande, Pete Davidson shit, where he made a joke about switching her birth control for Tic Tacs.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, I can list about 4 different female comedians who made jokes about poking holes in condoms to keep their boyfriends.
Yes.
And that wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, of course.
Now, people hate that argument. It's still a valid one. But it's who he is. He makes jokes. She loves him for being who he is.
Yeah, and he's a goddamn comedian. He saw that. SNL.
She probably heard that, laughed her ass off, and then went to Twitter, and everybody was like, "I'm so sorry," and she's like, "I don't what."
That didn't actually happen.
People need to calm the F down and have a little fun because there are definitely battles to be fought in this day and age. Mm-hmm. Save your energy for the real ones.
Yeah, and it's definitely not with J.K. Rowling.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to picking your battles, I don't think anyone has ever beat J.K. Rowling in a Twitter battle, ever.
Oh.
So just stop. Try it. Like, if the medium that you're trying to attack somebody is words, and they're
a
author,
writer? Yeah, come on, man.
It's just stupid. Anyway, Holmes and Watson is a new movie that's going to come out one day, starring Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly, and it looks like they're specifically spoofing the...
Have you seen the trailer?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Specifically spoofing the
RDJ...
Yeah, the Robert Downey Jr., Jude Law,
Guy Ritchie, Sherlock Holmes ones, yeah.
And it looks freaking hilarious, dude. This movie looks hilarious.
The trailer played before night school when Zoe and I went and saw it on Monday. Yeah. Oh my god!
I know that you're a big sucker for those movies.
So yeah, and when like the news came out that they are making a third one, I was so filled with joy.
Yes.
But I'm also filled with joy that this is a thing because it does look like it's making fun of those.
Well, they have one scene exactly where Will Ferrell is doing the same thing.
Yeah, it goes in slow motion, breaking down how to crush a mosquito.
Yeah.
But they break open it's like a whole bee enclosure.
Yep.
And then Watson's John C. Reilly's
just starts shooting
firing
the bees.
his revolvers in the air trying to get the bees. Oh, it looks like it's going to be so much fun.
It's going to be great. I'm pumped. Man. I have nothing else to say about it, but I can't wait. So we're shifting gears hard now into Deadpool 2 is getting a re-release. The first thing I'm going to say is going to make you mad. The second thing I'm going to say is going to make you love Deadpool even more. Mm-hmm. So they're getting a re-release because they're going to re-release it as PG-13. And that makes a lot of people go, that's not very Deadpool.
Yeah.
That's messed up. And then when you know that they're going to be doing it the same way that they do The Princess Bride, where they're telling a very young Fred Savage a bedtime story, and it's The Princess Bride, and the grandpa gets to censor the movie, basically. Deadpool essentially is going to be reading to a grown-up Fred Savage in bed the story of Deadpool 2. And that's going to be amazing. I'm going to go see it just to see this extra Deadpool footage.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be awesome.
Oh, man.
Anyway, this has... I don't have much commentary on it. I just think it's weird that it took so long for the world to get to this point now.
Yeah.
They're making Season 5 of Black Mirror as we speak. And they are going to do a Choose Your Own Adventure episode.
That's phenomenal.
That's such a good... How come no one thought of that yet? How come we didn't think of that yet?
I know, right?
You can do that on YouTube now.
Yeah.
People did it on YouTube. Why hasn't it been on Netflix yet?
I don't know, man.
Well, it's about to.
I know.
And I'm really pumped.
Me too.
I'm still just like super confused that hasn't happened yet. So, A Star Is Born has been getting reviewed. They actually did a pre-screening at the theater near us, but it was $22 to get into it.
And
I
you
said,
couldn't use your A-list.
yeah, no, I'm going to wait 2 days. Thank you. But anyway, at the time of me writing this agenda, it was already at a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. And now...
I'm actually really excited for it.
Oh, I've been excited for it. And, you know, they did all new original music for it. And, like, whatever song he's singing in the trailer, sometimes I'll just hum that shit.
Yeah, man.
It sounds really
I
good.
love the weird, excerpts from the movie trailers that they're doing.
I like that.
It's like, I can't think of another movie that's ever really done that, but it's not
Well,
like...
a couple times. People
Sure.
just take a little segment from the...
I think that Fences movie with was it
Yeah,
Denzel?
they did that. It was with
Did
Denzel.
that?
Yep.
But, like, I really like it, because it's like, it feels... I don't know, it sets the tone better than I think a trailer that's like a traditional trailer would.
Yeah.
And I really like them. I like the one where they're talking about Lady Gaga's nose the whole time.
Yeah.
Like that's such a perfect way to set the tone without revealing goddamn anything.
Yeah, you can go, oh, I'd watch the rest of that. Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, because they're both doing such a good job.
Oh, yeah.
I am so impressed.
A lot of people
with
are
everything
saying
I've
that
seen.
Lady Gaga might get an Oscar nom for this one, and I've not seen it.
That would be fantastic.
So this movie is certified fresh, 95% still to this day, and the audience want to see it percentage is 96%.
Ooh.
I really want to see it.
Yeah, me too.
And I really don't like movies that are centered around music. I don't like musicals. I don't like movies about bands, really.
Because he doesn't have a soul.
Yeah, I hate whimsy. Anyway, I still want to see this movie quite a bit. The new Spider-Man trailer came out literally today, and it is also dope.
Yes.
I was already excited for this movie, but now I'm double.
The Spider-Man into the
Spider-Man into the Spider-Man.
By the way.
Yeah.
Not Spider-Man Far From Home. Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse.
No, yeah, sorry.
It's the animated one about Miles Morales.
It gives us more of a look into what the story's going to actually be.
Yeah.
Before, I thought we only got like 3 Spider people.
Yeah, it was Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and Spider-Gwen, and that was it.
Yeah.
But they cast all these other Spider-Men. Like, I think Nicolas Cage is playing Spider-Man Noir.
Oh, he sure is. which is perfect.
It's like, I don't know. The actual comic is nuts, so I don't know how deep they're gonna go.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see Miles Morales on the big screen.
Honestly, I'd read it if I could read.
Yeah.
Moving past that, I've been holding on to this one for a little bit because it makes me very happy. Quite some time ago, they were talking a lot about a Harry Potter RPG game.
Yes.
And right before they were going to start releasing news about it, they said, hey, we're going to do, instead of that, we're going to do this app. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. I can do that on my phone sometimes.
I know where you're going with this.
Great.
And I wanted to break this to
And
you
then-
on our video game show.
And then they released the app, and I want to just say to a lot of people work on video games and apps and whatnot, and I respect them. I have a buddy who's an app developer, and I appreciate the work you guys do. But that is the worst fucking game I've ever played in my whole life. It is. It really is terrible. So, even for little kids, I can't imagine how a kid could enjoy that. But anyway, they released, or not released, sorry. There is leaked footage from this new Harry Potter RPG, and it looks amazing.
I mean, it's Rocksteady. Those are the guys that did the Arkham games, like Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and Arkham Knight.
Yep.
Like, that's what they're working on since Batman. I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it.
I can't fucking wait.
So that's going to be amazing.
Uh-huh.
I really just a little sidebar on that. we're jumping to something that, before we talk about Venom, which I feel like is going to take forever,
Yeah.
something that's going to take equally as forever, I feel like. So, Tyler, what do you know about Russia as a country?
They like to fuck with America a lot.
Yes.
They definitely
What
meddled in the 2016 election.
I would agree with that. Sorry, there's proof of that.
Yeah.
I would agree with proof. So, what else do you think about Russia? What else do you think they're capable of manipulating?
I feel like this is going somewhere very weird.
Somewhere very strange, I'll say. And someone, I wish I could give credit, I just don't have it up in front of me right now. I had it up and I just lost it. Somebody wrote an essay and did legitimate research and figured out that about 55% of just the tweets, this isn't counting all the other crap that was on the internet, 55% of like the tweets that came out and were negative press and reviews for Star Wars The Last Jedi were Russian bots.
What?
Yeah.
Can you... What?
Russian bots.
Oh my god.
So
Russia made me hate Star Wars.
Yes. Basically, Russia incepted the United States into thinking that half of it didn't like Star Wars. And then, you know what, I'm just going to call it out because I know a lot of people like this.
Stop pointing at me. Stop it.
Pretentious film nerds out there.
Stop it.
who love to hate movies and think that hating a movie that a lot of people like and having a reason for it makes that person smarter for some reason, really jumped on the bandwagon and was like, oh, you're supposed to hate this movie, I'm going to do that. The whole point of doing it was they wanted to stir the pot on the American internet, basically, and make us hate each other even more so that we would be a little more politically unstable.
That's fucking
We
terrifying.
were cyber attacked into our brains.
It's fucking terrifying.
Yep.
So I will say...
Inception is real, and they did it.
So, I didn't hate it necessarily the first time I
Liar.
saw it. Alright, I did.
Yep.
But I think part of that is because I did watch it with my little brother.
Yep.
And I love Dylan, and he's a great guy. He loves his movies and stuff. But he's got a very high bar for the art he ingests. And that what I will say about that is he feels entitled to better entertainment, which I completely agree with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a totally fine thing. It's just I think his bar is a little too high. But every time something would happen that I get a little excited about, I look over at Dylan for like validation of my excitement, and he would just not be interested or not be happy at all.
And that makes you just go like,
oh, maybe it wasn't that good.
Maybe it wasn't that good.
I will say, rewatched it not too long ago, and I loved it.
Yeah.
But I skipped all this stuff. Nothing against Kelly Marie Tran. I think she was fantastic, and I think Rose is fine. But all the shit that they put that character through in that movie, the weird casino planet, CGI horse cat race, and escape. Oh man,
it's a little prequel-y in those parts.
Oh man,
but you know what? I don't hate those parts, and I will stand on my podium, sir, and say that I defended this movie from the beginning. Yes,
you did. Yes,
so I will not take any. Oh, you're just backing up now because you found out that you were incepted like that movie Inception. No,
nope.
Sir.
Wyatt has been a Last Jedi apologist since day one.
Yes, I will not. No, I will not apologize. They deserve their glory.
Yeah,
I think it's excellent storytelling, and Rian Johnson is amazing.
I think it was really, really good for a lot of it, and I still disagree with the decision they made at the end, but I'm holding out hope that it'll go the way that I wanted it to anyway in the third one.
Yeah. I mean,
because there's still another movie. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I wasn't going to go that direction. I was going to say, if anyone from Russia is listening, I fucking hate you.
Oh, yeah. Go
leave me alone.
Fucking just leave. Enjoy your own piece of shit country.
Yeah.
We both live in piece of shit countries. Just enjoy yours being a piece of shit and leave our piece of shit alone.
Yeah, you all just go. You go fuck yourselves. Anyway, this usually is not a political podcast, but it was for a moment.
Yeah.
And I meant what I said.
Go fuck yourself.
We're moving on to something else. Maybe this is Russian bots. Who fucking knows at this point?
Probably not.
No. No, probably not.
Just being honest.
The review embargo on Venom has been lifted.
Oh, boy.
The movie's not out yet. But some people have some opinions about it.
Some opinions.
And I'm actually more excited to see the movie now. And
yeah.
I will tell you why. So I'm just going to read you some excerpts from a place called Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to say that hashtag Venom is pretty much a complete failure. A total mess that feels 15 years old, ignoring the storytelling strides the superhero genre has made in recent years. A few fun Venom-centric moments aside, it's nearly nothing to offer, or it has nearly nothing to offer.
Wow.
Don't get your hopes up. The next one. Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock and #Venom has some really entertaining moments. It's a very clunky script without nuance, and it bogs down all the Venom stuff, preventing it from choosing between being gritty, funny, or something unique. Basically, they all kind of sound like that.
They Sony'd the fuck out of it, is what it sounds like.
So the reason that I wanted to bring that up, and I want to talk about my favorite one of these that I want to talk about for a minute, but the reason I even want to bring any of this up is Tom Hardy was interviewed right before the embargo was lifted. Yeah. And they said, hey, Tom Hardy, actor of Venom, a.k.a. Venom, what is your favorite part of the movie? And he just went, it's not in the movie. Such a, just dripping with sass.
Yeah. He's Tom Hardy. Like, he's going to be fine if he is honest about Sony.
He said, my favorite 40 minutes from Venom were cut completely.
40 minutes.
40 minutes worth
almost
of material.
Almost an entire, episode of premium TV.
Yeah.
Worth of Venom stuff that Tom Hardy loved.
He said that there were mad puppeteering scenes, dark comedy scenes that just never made it in that he was really proud of. And
I bet you
he didn't say that this is a bad movie. He didn't say that's why you think this movie is bad because there's another version of it out there. He didn't say any of that. He just said, look, my favorite stuff didn't make it in. If you like it, you like it.
I wish they would have...
He was as mean and nice at the same time as he could have been.
I wish they would have had the balls to make this an R-rated movie.
Yeah, so, and I think we said this
and
before.
not in the, forcefully R-rated way. Yeah. Because Venom's fucking brutal. He just is.
Well, a lot of people asked Ruben Fleischer, the director of the movie, once the review embargo lifted, hey, do people hate your movie because it's rated R, or not rated R, rather? And he's like, I hope not, because I never intended to make a rated R movie. He said, I wanted to always get to I wanted to know where the line was. I wanted them to tell me, hey, where's the line? If I'm going to cut someone's throat in a movie, how much blood can I show before it's rated R? And I just went right up to the line on every single thing. So that's fine, but that doesn't make the movie any more appealing.
I feel like you could have also, alternatively, just made a good movie and not given a shit what it was going to be rated. But
that's not how the world works. No. So, this is the one I'm most interested in. Someone wrote, I'm fascinated with Venom. The cast seems like they all know that they're in a darker superhero movie, except Tom Hardy, who is basically remaking Jim Carrey's Liar Liar. I kind of loved watching this movie in a Rocky Horror type of way. At one point, Tom Hardy and Venom make out.
What?
Tom Hardy and Venom make out. So I think this movie is going to be fucking captivating. I think this movie is just going to pull us in and we're going to go, what the fuck is happening?
Oh, man.
Some of the reviews also that I read were that it's as bad as Catwoman from 2004.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that it's that bad. And that also, a lot of the sentiments that I'm pulling from everywhere seem to put together the story that this movie more or less belongs in that era of superhero movies.
Yeah.
Where you had Ben Affleck's Daredevil and Catwoman and Nick Cage's Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like a 15-year-old movie.
Yeah.
I'm super interested now because that's not what I expected. I just expected it to be
boring,
a hammy, boring, crappy mess.
Yeah.
But it looks like they really swung for a fence and they went over it. But it was like
a bad fence.
Really weird fence.
Yeah. They picked the weirdest possible fence. Tom Hardy and Venom make out?
What does that even mean?
What? I'm so confused.
I don't know what...
And aroused.
Yeah. Tom Hardy and Venom make out. He's acting like Jim Carrey. Everyone's in a dark movie.
But
how none of that goes together.
They make a turd joke.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
I was
Well, apparently there was
an apologist for this.
Yeah.
I was.
There's a post-credit scene that some people have talked about, saying that it's freaking sweet, though.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to tell you what it is?
No, because we're going to see the movie in 4 days.
All right, just kidding.
I was going to flip the table.
No, man, I'm you know what's funny? I wasn't psyched for this movie
at
all.
You've got a complete 180 because it's bad.
Yes.
It seems like bad in an interesting way.
People aren't saying that it's boring bad.
Yeah.
They're saying that it's train wreck bad. And I love that shit.
Yeah, you do.
It's great.
You really do. So, I don't know. Maybe they'll go DC and release a rated R maybe not the director's cut, but maybe the Tom Hardy cut.
So he actually said that, though.
Yeah.
Ruben Fleischer, he's like, I don't want everyone to start talking about there's another cut out there. There isn't one. He's like, there's no Phantom cut. There's no R-rated cut.
That guy sounds kind of arrogant.
That's what he said, though.
I
like Ruben Fleischer.
But he sounds a little, like, defensive about all this.
He used to work at MTV.
Oh, okay, well.
Really, he started on that show, Robbing Big. So there you go. Right. he's a great filmmaker, though. He made Zombieland. Yeah. He made Gangster Squad.
One of those is good.
You liked Gangster Squad.
That doesn't mean it's good. That does not mean it's good.
So if you enjoyed this as much as you enjoyed Gangster Squad, but with Jim Carrey in it from Liar, you're in for a treat, Tyler.
And CGI oil monster making out with Tom Hardy.
Yeah. You know what? I just... You know the only superhero thing about this that makes me upset? Is that I'm getting really fucking tired of movies that is just... This is a superhero with this skill set. Now fight the exact same thing. Why do we have Venom fighting another fucking symbiote? That's boring. I don't want to see oil monsters punch each other all fucking day. Like, Iron Man did it, and did it really well. But then everyone else tried to do exactly that same fucking thing.
So I will say...
I'm so sick of it.
Part of what makes Venom cool in the comics
is that there's a bunch of other
is that there's a bunch of offspring with different abilities. Yes. So not like the only similarity is that they came from the same alien or the same species of alien. I get all that. Like Carnage, which is I bet where the fucking post-credit scene goes. There's Carnage, who's one of the best Marvel villains, period. You have Toxin, you have all these other ones, right? I'm with you. Anti-Venom is really great, and those all become from Venom, and that's like, but I know they're gonna do it bad in this movie, but in the comics, it's really cool.
No, I get you.
But I completely agree because it's just gonna be Silver Venom versus Black Venom.
That's what I'm talking about. Like you're talking about the comics and the lore, and I appreciate that, and I understand it. But I know for a fact that is not what's going on.
Sure.
Here.
Oh, absolutely.
Because Sony'd it, and I know what they looked at it. They're like, oh. We have this Venom, and then we have all these other Venoms, and so they just punched, right? They just do that, and like the writers are like, not really, no, they don't really. Like, they do a lot more than that. It's like, punch, it's fine, just everyone punch.
But they have all these.
No, shut up, no. Like, and Tom Hardy's like, I told some really good jokes that are gonna make people laugh. Tom Hardy, you're not fucking funny. Shut up, man, just shut up. I'm Sony, and I know everything. Okay, fine, fuck me. That was our caricature of the set of Venom. But anyway.
Sony and Warner Brothers need to do everybody a favor.
Chill out.
And stop trying to make superhero movies.
For a little bit. Just take a break.
Like, in a universe where the MCU exists.
Yeah.
They need to take a deep breath and make superhero movies, kind of like X-Men, that are just, they're just good.
If it's
as bad as Apocalypse was,
it
was beautifully its own thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't, like, bad because it was trying to be the Avengers. It wasn't weird because it was trying to be overly gritty. It was just a misstep.
Yeah.
That's why I think you could watch it through, but that's why I love the X-Men universe, because it is just the X-Men universe. They do whatever they want with those characters, but it's those characters, and it feels like those movies. It doesn't feel like a response to Civil War or a reaction to how badly the last one was.
It came out because Deadpool exists.
Exactly.
That's what it feels like.
Yes, it feels like
it's
oily Tom Hardy Deadpool without the wall breaking.
We hope that this episode didn't end on a low note for all you folks. I had a lot of fun talking about all the news and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
I hope you guys go and see Hellfest and Smallfoot and Night School, because those were we gave them all passing grades.
They were at least okay.
Yeah. Not disappointed at all with any of those movies. I'm so fucking hyped for Venom. I can't even tell you guys how hyped I am now. I wasn't before. And
it's funny when you switch, because I'm like I'm gonna see it. And I'm hoping I enjoy it. Like, so I don't know why, but my favorite DC movie to watch is Suicide Squad. Like DC EU movie,
get out of here.
Not Dark Knight. Like,
fuck out of here. Man.
I like watching Suicide Squad because it's bad, like really bad, but they're all really bad. And it's the one that it just makes me laugh because Will Smith's in it. So I'm like hoping that Venom is a little like that. Like, it's a train wreck, but I enjoy watching Tom Hardy.
Can't wait for it to come out on Blu-ray so that I can do a What Happened episode about Venom.
Go for it.
It's going to be fun.
Can I be on that one?
No.
Okay. All right, well, I'm going to go home now.
Okay. But you can be on that episode. But anyway, we belong to an entity called SCREENPLAY. They're merciful gods. They give us food. But for them to continue giving us food, you need to follow us on everything.
Yeah.
S vertical P. Yeah. S, the word vertical, P.
Yeah, that's Facebook,
Instagram,
that's Twitter, Instagram,
yeah.
YouTube.
All that shit I
think we even have a LinkedIn, but that's not important.
What? Why the fuck we... Sure, whatever. Yeah, follow us on all those things. YouTube is very important. But also, you can find this podcast on Spotify, on iTunes, and on fucking iHeartRadio now.
Right?
Yep.
Isn't that all exciting? Check us out on Patreon if you want to support the show. This show, any of the other shows we do.
Get ready for Friday because you're going to get a little thing called $4 Fridays.
Yes,
if
you are. And it's a spoopy one.
Oh, it's my favorite thing we've ever done.
One.
This my favorite screenplay
I almost
project.
killed myself.
Favorite screenplay project I've ever worked on was the $4 Fridays Goosebumps edition. Let me tell you guys a little bit about what this is.
No. We don't have time.
No,
but
we
I will say,
we do have
we
time.
had so much fun doing this one, and we think it's funny enough that we might end up just releasing it.
It's so great. So basically, here's what you need to do if you're
everyone.
If you're really hype about getting on this $4 Friday bandwagon.
Which why the fuck would you not be? You get to listen to Wyatt watch a movie.
Basically, here's what it is. We watch a movie, we do commentary, and then you get to watch it at the same time. We give you all the time codes and whatnot, so you can link up and watch the movie at the same time that we watch it. So you get the commentary like you're watching it with us because we're bros and we're your bros.
Yeah, we're all your friends.
But anyway, we actually the reason it's called $4 Fridays is we dig our hands into a $4 bin at a movie store, which doesn't really exist. It's just a store, but it has a movie bin in it, and it's $4. Anyway, we pull out a random movie, and we watch whatever the hell that movie is. But I was determined this week to pull out a spooky movie because it's Halloween time.
Yeah,
so
it's October.
The whole bin only had one spooky movie in it, and I'll tell you what, it was spooky. It was Goosebumps, but not like the new Goosebumps movie, the 1995 TV show Goosebumps. And the episodes were The Blob That Ate Everyone, My Hairiest Adventure, which is my personal favorite, and then Piano Lessons Can't Be Murdered. And man, these are the worst pieces of shit I've ever seen in my life. Wow.
Oh, I'm having flashbacks to how much we were laughing.
If you want to watch those episodes, you only have to give $1 to Patreon. You have access to it now.
Yeah.
If you're really patient and wait a couple weeks, it'll probably come out. But if you just pay $1 effing $1, that will make the next $4 Friday a $3 Friday, and you'll be a big part of that.
Right?
So,
isn't that worth it enough?
It's really great.
Literally,
I can't tell you enough how great it is.
This is our only Patreon. We have a crap ton of other rewards and stuff on Patreon that we're going to start rolling out soon. But this is the only one that is available to patrons of all levels.
Correct.
You donate $1 and you get a commentary every month. Now this one's going to be coming out within the next week or so, before the Halloween times.
Yep.
And then, like Wyatt said, if you're patient, because we enjoyed making this one, and we kind of want to share it, so you guys get an idea of what the commentary tracks are. This one will probably come out
eventually, but
it won't be Halloween time when it does. So if you want to get in there when you're in the Halloweeny spirit,
it's great.
It's great.
It's a lot. It's fun. It's a riot.
And also, Patreon's cool because, say you don't want to donate a number of money every month. You donate a number of money one month, you get to listen to all the commentary tracks that month, and then you can just take a break for a little while.
Yeah.
That'd be totally fine.
$1 and download both $4 Fridays, and then you're off to the races.
Any support is support. So we love you guys. Thank you for listening, as always.
Appreciative.
I've been Tyler.
I've been Wyatt. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Good night forever.
Yeah, enjoy your midnight.
I'm going to eat my chicken.
Do it.